Subscribe and leave a comment saying I subscribed, and I will personally reply to your comment.
The murders of Shanann Watts and her two young daughters, Bella, 4, and Celeste, 3, in August 2018, shocked the nation and became a symbol of unfathomable family betrayal. The chilling nature of the case, perpetrated by Shanann's husband, Chris Watts, combined with the calculated attempts to cover up the crime, drew massive media attention and sparked widespread public outrage. Shanann Catherine Watts was a charismatic and ambitious woman who worked as a successful sales representative for a health supplement company. Active on social media, she often posted about her family life, portraying what seemed to be a loving and happy household. She frequently shared videos and photos of her daughters, Bella and Celeste, nicknamed Cece, along with Chris Watts, her seemingly supportive husband. The couple married in 2012 after meeting in North Carolina. Chris, an oil field operator for Anadarko Petroleum, was described by many as quiet and mild-mannered, contrasting with Shanann's vibrant personality. By 2018, the family had moved to Frederick, Colorado, where they struggled financially, facing bankruptcy and mounting debts. Despite these challenges, Shanann became pregnant with their third child, a boy they planned to name Nico. Behind the facade of a picture-perfect family, cracks were beginning to form. Shanann confided in friends that Chris had grown distant and emotionally detached. Unbeknownst to Shanann, Chris had begun an affair with a co-worker, Nicole Kessinger, in July 2018. As Shanann sought to mend their relationship, Chris plotted to end it in the most horrific way imaginable. On August 13, 2018, Shanann returned home from a business trip to Arizona at approximately 2 a.m., as seen on security footage captured by a neighbor's doorbell camera. She was visibly tired, but unaware that this would be her last night alive. That morning, Chris and Shanann had a heated argument in their bedroom, during which Shanann confronted him about his infidelity. Chris later claimed that Shanann told him he would never see their children again. This confrontation ended with Chris strangling Shanann to death. Their daughters, Bella and Celeste, who had likely been woken by the commotion, were still alive when Chris loaded Shanann's body into the back of his work truck. Bella, a bright and observant child, reportedly asked, "What's wrong with Mommy?" as Chris bundled them into the vehicle alongside their mother's corpse. Chris drove to a remote oil field owned by Anadarko Petroleum. Once there, he carried out the remainder of his horrifying plan. He smothered Celeste first with a blanket as Bella watched in terror. After killing Cece, Chris turned his attention to Bella. The brave little girl begged for her life, reportedly saying, "Daddy, no," before he silenced her forever. He then disposed of their bodies in a cold and calculated manner. He forced each of his daughter's small bodies into separate oil tanks, while Shanann's body was buried in a shallow grave nearby. Later that morning, Chris pretended to be a concerned husband and father. He texted Shanann's phone repeatedly, despite knowing she was already dead. When a friend of Shanann's, Nicole Atkinson, grew concerned after being unable to contact her, she alerted the police. Upon arrival, officers found no signs of struggle or forced entry at the Watts home. Shanann's purse, keys, and phone were still inside, which raised immediate suspicions. Chris maintained a calm demeanor, claiming he had no idea where his wife and children were. However, Chris's version of events quickly unraveled. A neighbor's security footage contradicted his claim that he had left for work without incident. The footage showed Chris backing his truck into the garage and suspiciously loading items into the back. Additionally, Chris's behavior during media interviews was perceived as strange and emotionless. Authorities noted inconsistencies in his statements, leading them to administer a polygraph test on August 15th, which Chris failed spectacularly. Faced with mounting evidence, Chris initially blamed Shanann for the murders of Bella and Celeste, claiming that she had strangled them in a fit of rage after he told her he wanted a separation. According to Chris, he killed Shanann in retaliation. However, this story quickly fell apart. After intense interrogation, Chris confessed to all 3 murders and provided gruesome details about how he had disposed of the bodies. The chilling confession confirmed the worst fears of investigators and Shanann's family. Chris Watts was arrested and charged with multiple counts, including 3 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of first-degree murder of a child under 12 by a person in a position of trust, unlawful termination of a pregnancy, 3 counts of tampering with a deceased human body. Despite overwhelming evidence against him, Chris avoided a death penalty trial by pleading guilty to all charges on November 6, 2018. Shanann's family requested that prosecutors not seek the death penalty, citing their desire to avoid prolonged legal proceedings. On November 19, 2018, Chris Watts was sentenced to 5 life terms without the possibility of parole, plus 84 additional years for other charges. The Watts family murders captivated and horrified the public. The case highlighted the potential darkness lurking behind seemingly ideal family lives. Chris Watts became emblematic of a calculated and remorseless killer who betrayed his own family for selfish desires. In 2020, the Netflix documentary, American Murder: The Family Next Door, used Shanann's social media posts, text messages, and police footage to present an intimate and disturbing portrayal of the events leading up to the murders. Shanann's parents, Frank and Sandra Zuchek, have since dedicated themselves to preserving Shanann's memory and raising awareness about domestic violence. The tragic deaths of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and baby Nico continue to serve as a reminder of the importance of recognizing and addressing relationship warning signs. Chris Watts is currently serving his sentence at a maximum security prison, where he remains one of the most reviled prisoners in the American penal system.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy our content, please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing with your friends. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new horror story. Your support helps us create more spine-chilling content.